Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abdul Aslan Sayyed. Now I am the student of Holmes Institute. We are going to give a group presentation, and the group presentation is on the topic of business and corporation law, and the topic was breaching of company directors and officers' duty. And the topic was the case between ASIC versus APCHL. ASIC is the Australian Security Investment Commission versus Australian Property Custodian Holding Limited. The first part, intro part, will be given by my sister Chaitanya.
Hello everyone. So today the introduction case is about Australian Security and Investment Commission versus Australian Property Custodian Holding Limited. Judges involved are Greenwood, Middleton and Foster JJ. Date of judgment was held on 1st of November 2017. The reason for judgment principally concerns whether certain declarations of the trial judge that APCHL contravened the Corporations Act 2001. Proceedings were brought by ASIC against both APCHL and 5 of its directors, namely William Leonelewski, Mark Frederick Butler, Kim Samuel Jakes, Michael Richard Lewis and Peter John Clark. Before going any further, we need to address certain procedural matters. Parties at the trial, including APCHL and original parties to the appeals, clearly treated the conduct of the directors of APCHL, and any declarations against APCHL would follow upon declarations made against directors. For this purpose of the case, the trial judge and this court treated APCHL and directors as effectively the same person or entity. Now the next part is going to be presented by Abdul. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Now I am going to give out the overlook at the proceedings which has been held between the directors of ASIC and APCHL and the responsible entity. The issues for determination in each appeal is broadly classified into 3 groups. 3 topics concern on the 3 topics which correspond to the 3 groups of contravention pleaded by ASIC at the trial. The first one was that whether the judge was erred in finding the conduct of the director in relation to the resolution of lodge of amendment according to APCHL Constitution at the board meeting which was held at 22nd August 2002. And it was the contravention, and it involved the contravention of duties according to the section of 601 FD of the Corporation Act 2001. And the second topic about that, which was about the concern, was whether the conduct in relation to the payment of listing fee, which was fine afterwards later on, and which involved the contravention of the section according to the section of 2008 of the Act, which involves the consideration of rules prohibiting related to party transaction by the responsible entity. And the third concern, which is about whether the trial judge erred in finding that the making of decision to pay the listing fee involved the contravention of the section 601 FD of the Act of Constitution. So the next part will be done by Brother Rahim about the consideration.
Thanks, Abdul, for introducing me. My name is Rahimullah Khan Faisal, and I am going to explain about regarding Director of Submission. The Director of Submission contains that the alternative case is not an alternative case. Is due to the consideration had given to the issue to the trial judge and the full court. The director substituted the ASIC has not identified. Then the director argued against the subject declaration against APCHL on passing 22 August 2006, the resolution to lodge the amended constitution. Therefore, because of the full court held that the director had acted lawfully in this respect, and they submitted the similar conclusion was warranted in respect of APCHL. And the next part is going to explain by Paul. Thanks.
Thank you, Rahim. My name is Innocent Paul and my topic is consideration. First, it is important to examine and compare declaration against similar declaration made by the trial judge and against the directors in the penalties judgment. In declaration first, APCHL was said to have breached its duty in section 601 FC to exercise the degree of care and diligence that a reasonable person would exercise if they were in the responsible entity's position. And in declaration 8, 16, 24, 32 and 40, the directors were said to have breached their duties under section 601 FD to exercise the degree of care and diligence that a responsible person would exercise if they were in the officer positions. And the declaration 4, the APCHL was said to have breached its duty in the section 601 FC to act in the best interest of the member, and if there is a conflict between the members' interest and its own interest, give priority to the members' interest by the board passing resolution on 26 June 2007 and in 27 July 2007 in relation to the first payment of the listing fees. And in declaration 6, APCHL was said to have breached that same duty by the board passing resolution on 7 April 2008 and 27 June 2008 and approving and executing a document referred to as the head of agreements in relation to the payment of the balance of the listing fees. And in declaration 14, 22, 30, 38 and 46, the director was said to have breached their duties under section 601 FD to act in the best interest of the members, and if there is a conflict between the members' interest and the interest of the responsible entities, give priority to the members' interest. Now I invite my friend Bikal, he will give the conclude.
Thank you, Paul. My name is Bikal and I'm here to talk about the conclusion part of this case. And from the case we conclude that the judge talk about the appeal, and the appeal is allowed and the Australian Property Custodian Holding Limited ASEAN 095474436 be joined as a second respondent to the appeal, and the cross appeal is dismissed by the judge, and the first respondent pay the cost of the defendant in the trial proceeding including the reserve cost, and also the first respondent pay the cost of the defendant in the trial proceeding include the reasonable cost, and the second respondent pay the cost of the appellants in the appeal proceeding of and in connection with the dispute as to the form of order. So in a conclusion, also there is a development in the Company Act according from the case decision. So development in the case law concerning director duties, wider corporate conduct, and an important decision in respect to access to defense cost on the directors and officers liability insurance. And also there is a section 459E of the Corporation Act where it permits a statutory demand to be served on a company relating to debt or debt that is or are due and payable. So thank you, that's the conclusion part, and I conclude this case. So thank you everyone.